On March 25th, the third Flight III Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, USS Jeremiah Denton, DDG-129, built by Huntington Ingalls Industries, held its launching ceremony, marking the company's initial formation of the capability to launch one Flight III every 2 years. Currently, after the commissioning of Huntington Ingalls' first Flight III Arleigh Burke, USS Jack H. Lucas, DDG-125, its crew won the 41st Pacific Surface Line Week competition on October 25, 2024, at least indicating that the crew's state in the first year of service was quite good. The second ship, USS Ted Stevens, DDG-128, launched in August 2023, is expected to be commissioned in the summer of 2026. In comparison, Bath Iron Works' construction can only be described as complicated. USS Harvey C. Barnum Jr., DDG-124, and USS Patrick Gallagher, DDG-127, the last two technical insert Flight II Arleigh Burke destroyers, launched in October 2023 and July 2024, respectively, have experienced some delays but still have predictable commissioning schedules. However, Bath Iron Works' first Flight III destroyer, USS Lewis H. Wilson Jr., DDG-126, which started construction alongside USS Patrick Gallagher in 2020, has still not been launched. As for the company's second Flight III destroyer, USS William Charette, DDG-130, its keel-laying ceremony will not be held until August 2024. And its construction progress has already been surpassed by Huntington Ingalls Industries' fourth Flight III destroyer, USS George M. Neal, DDG-131. By 2026, the number of Flight III destroyers launched by Huntington Ingalls and Bath Iron Works is expected to be at least 4:1. However, although Huntington Ingalls Industries is expected to achieve an annual launch rate of one Flight III Arleigh Burke starting this year, photos of the third ship's launch show a very noticeable hungry horse effect on the bow hull plates. This effect refers to the phenomenon where the thin hull plates of a ship appear uneven over a large area after welding, resembling the protruding ribs of a malnourished horse. Although this is a basic craftsmanship issue that does not affect welding quality, it reflects the strength of a company's industrial capabilities. 4 large warships using high-strength steel, eliminating strong welding stress during construction requires addressing welding principles, mold density, and thin plate deformation control, factors that influence welding deformation. Only by promoting automated welding technology, increasing mold density, using clamping techniques during main deck welding, and adopting vibration stress relief technology can the hungry horse effect be completely eliminated. In conclusion, although there is still a gap compared to the period from 1999 to 2004, when Ingalls launched 2 Flight II destroyers per year, it has now managed to restore the Flight III construction speed to 1 per year, the same as when Flight II production resumed from 2016 to 2020. Additionally, it is still launching one Ticonderoga-class landing platform dock every 2 years, producing America-class amphibious assault ships, and even constructing Legend-class cutters for the U.S. Coast Guard. Today, Huntington Ingalls Industries is the most capable shipyard in the U.S. shipbuilding industry. However, the overall slow progress of Flight III Arleigh Burke construction has significantly impacted the Navy's fleet composition, most notably the planning of air defense command ships for carrier strike groups. Initially, the U.S. Navy attempted modernization and service life extension for some Ticonderoga-class cruisers, but several ships that were already under refurbishment or had just completed upgrades were abandoned, resulting in billions of dollars wasted. At the same time, delays in Flight III construction further widened the gap left by the retirement of Ticonderogas, forcing the U.S. Navy to use Arleigh Burke-class Flight II destroyers as substitute cruisers. As the Navy awaits more Flight III destroyers, the existing Flight II are increasingly assuming the role of air defense command ships within carrier strike groups. Under normal circumstances, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers are commanded by 5 officers, while air defense command ships require 6 officers, the same rank as cruiser commanding officers. This is why USS Jack H. Lucas, the first Flight III destroyer, was assigned a captain as its commanding officer. Using Flight 2A destroyers as Air Defense Command ships means that they inherit one key feature from Flight 3 destroyers: 6 officers. However, some Flight 2A that serve as Air Defense Command ships have retained 5 commanding officers, showing variability in implementation. Serving as an Air Defense Command ship within a carrier strike group requires tracking all aerial threats over the fleet and coordinating the fleet's defensive actions to detect and neutralize these threats. As the nerve center for fleet air defense operations, the Air Defense Command ship has the authority to mobilize all anti-air weapons within the strike group to accomplish its mission. Compared to earlier Arleigh Burke destroyers equipped with the Spy 1 radar and Aegis combat system, Ticonderoga-class cruisers had larger combat information centers and greater hardware expansion capacity, making them more suitable for air defense command roles. With advancements in electronics and Aegis system iterations, Flight 2A destroyers have become capable of taking on similar tasks, but with some trade-offs. These include increasing crew numbers, which further reduces available space. At the U.S. Navy Surface Fleet Annual Meeting, Rear Admiral Joseph Cahill, commander of Naval Surface Force Atlantic, stated via phone to the media that the task of Air Defense Command within formations will gradually be transferred to Flight 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. However, due to delivery gaps in this class, the Navy has adopted a temporary solution by using Flight 2A destroyers as Air Defense Command ships. Cahill said that from an operational standpoint, the transition has been going well, but the Navy still needs to closely monitor the situation and manage personnel accordingly. In 2024, USS Frank E. Peterson Jr. served as the Air Defense Command ship during its deployment with the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, while USS Daniel Inouye took on the same role in the USS Theodore Roosevelt CSG. Vice Admiral Brendan McLean, commander of Naval Surface Forces, stated that USS Daniel Inouye received specialized training before deployment to prepare for its role as an Air Defense Command ship. The ship took on this task after the assigned cruiser withdrew from the formation due to material issues. Although McLean did not disclose the identity of the withdrawn cruiser, external reports suggest that it was likely USS Lake Erie, CG-70. McLean further noted that after transferring to USS Daniel Inouye, the air defense personnel from the cruiser performed well. Currently, the U.S. Navy retains 9 Ticonderoga-class cruisers, originally scheduled for complete retirement by 2027. However, in November 2023, the Navy decided to extend the service life of 3 of them until fiscal year 2029. Meanwhile, only one Flight 3 destroyer, USS Jack H. Lucas, has entered service. Under normal projections, by 2029, only 6 to 7 more Flight 3 destroyers will be commissioned, while the next generation large surface combatant, DDGX, has yet to be officially ordered. To compensate for this shortfall, the Navy plans to assign a Flight 2A destroyer as an Air Defense Command ship in each of its 11 carrier strike groups. Cahill announced that the next Flight 2A destroyer to serve as an Air Defense Command ship will be USS Winston S. Churchill, which is set to deploy this summer with the USS George H.W. Bush Carrier Strike Group. Additionally, USS Mason is being considered for integration into a carrier strike group to assume the Air Defense Command role, though the specific strike group and the cruiser to be replaced have not yet been determined. A retired naval captain, who wished to remain anonymous, expressed concerns about the long-term feasibility of using Flight 2A destroyers as Air Defense Command ships, despite their theoretical capability to fulfill the role. He noted that while additional personnel and extra display consoles for Air Defense Command operations can be accommodated on board, doing so is cumbersome and requires significant space adjustments. However, the trade-off of assigning a Flight 2A destroyer as an Air Defense Command ship is that it reduces the number of destroyers available for other missions within the carrier strike group. This change also alters crew assignments on the Flight 2A ships, increasing operational tempo and workload for onboard personnel. Additionally, the carrier strike group's command structure places all operational command functions, except air defense, on the aircraft carrier itself, leading to discussions on whether Air Defense Command should also be transferred to the carrier. Fundamentally, The U.S. Navy's use of Flight 2A destroyers as substitute cruisers is a response to delays and cost increases in Flight 3 production. A Congressional Budget Office report found that the final average cost of 23 planned Flight 3 destroyers will reach $2.7 billion per ship, significantly exceeding the previous estimate of $2.1 billion. The report attributes this increase to higher-than-expected inflation in the shipbuilding industry and underperformance of shipyards. Additionally, ongoing construction delays mean that except for the already commissioned USS Jack H. Lucas, all other Flight 3 destroyers are expected to be delivered 6 to 25 months late. As a result, the CBO questions the future fleet size of the U.S. Navy over the next few decades. Although Navy leadership remains confident that Flight 2A destroyers can serve as temporary air defense command ships until Flight 3 destroyers arrive, this stopgap solution underscores the persistent challenges in U.S. naval procurement and shipbuilding. Despite apparent efforts from Congress and the shipbuilding industry to address these issues, whether U.S. shipbuilding will improve as a result remains uncertain.